I was sprawled on this couch in my new apartment, 6 months after walking out of my parents' house. My phone buzzed like a swarm of furious bees, trying to drag me back into that hell. Names flashed on the screen. Mom, then Dad, and even Tyler, like a rerun of a bad sitcom you can't escape. It was almost funny. Almost. Their names flickered relentlessly, a desperate dance of panic. I just sat there, arms crossed, watching the phone vibrate on the coffee table as if it might explode if I ignored it long enough. 6 months ago, I thought I'd left for good. No drama, no shouting. I packed a bag, grabbed some clothes and my laptop, and slipped out of my parents' house quietly, like it was the most natural thing. No slamming doors, no cursing them out. I just left, convinced that was the end. But here they were, blowing up my phone like I owed them my soul. I leaned back, exhaling slowly, a dark, almost gleeful satisfaction curling in my chest. This chaos was proof I'd finally shaken them. They couldn't touch me anymore, not like before. Yet the phone kept buzzing, a relentless reminder of everything I'd run from. If you're reading this, you're probably wondering how I ended up here. How a 29-year-old finance nerd like me got tangled with a family that treated me like an ATM with feelings. Trust me, it's a story worth sticking around for. Picture me, Jordan Evans, the good guy who never screwed over his brother, who was always right even when he was wrong, and parents who could guilt-trip you into debt without blinking. That's the swamp I crawled out of. So there I sat, my phone twitching like a wild animal, smirking because for once I wasn't scrambling to fix their mess. Want to know how it all fell apart? Keep reading, because this is just the start, and trust me, it gets wilder. Let's rewind to give you the full, crazy picture of my childhood. I'm Jordan Evans, 29, and back then, I was the kid who never gave my parents a reason to complain. No rebellion, no trouble, just kept my head down and did what I had to. My older brother, Tyler, now 33 and still a walking disaster, was the golden child. He could do anything and stay untouchable, even when he screwed up every single day. Imagine Tyler dropping out of college at 20, claiming he's finding himself. Mom and Dad nod like it's some noble quest. He gets fired from 3 jobs in a row, retail, warehouse, even a cushy office gig, because they didn't value his creativity, and they just shrug. Tough times, they say. Then, at 31, he moves back home, jobless, planless, lounging on the couch like he earned it, and they baby him like a lost puppy. Me? I got my first job at 16, flipping burgers after school, saved every penny, paid for college with scholarships and night shifts, graduated with a finance degree, and landed a solid job right away. Did they throw me a parade? Nope. Barely a "good job, Jordan," because I was always the responsible one, the reliable kid who didn't need coddling. Love in our house wasn't warm or free. It came with strings, big, thick ropes they yanked whenever they wanted. Mom, Linda, would sigh dramatically when I visited, moaning, "Things have been so tough lately." Her voice trembling like she was auditioning for a soap opera. Dad, Mark, dropped his little bombs. "Tyler's trying. He just needs more time to get on his feet." As if I was supposed to nod along. I saw what they were doing, planting guilt, and I let them. Because what else do you do when it's your family? I never asked them for a dime, built my life from scratch. Guess who did ask, though, time after time? Tyler, rolling back home broke. And guess who they expected to fix it when their bills piled up? Me. Always me. Because I had my shit together. Because I wasn't the mess he was. It wasn't outright abuse, I wouldn't call it that. But it was cold, calculated, a slow drip of expectations that I'd carry them all. Tyler could crash the car, blow rent money, whatever, and they'd bail him out, pat his head, tell him he'd figure it out. Me? I showed up with a paycheck and a plan, and they barely looked up from their coffee like it was my job to keep their world spinning. I gritted my teeth, told myself I could handle it, that I was strong. But that strength cost me, and they didn't care what it cost. Mom preached that family sticks together. Dad nodded like some wise elder, and Tyler just sat there smirking, knowing he'd never have to lift a finger. That was my life, year after year. The good guy propping up the golden boy and parents who picked their favorite without even hiding it. So when I say I walked out 6 months ago, you'll get why it wasn't some random tantrum. I finally saw their game for what it was and refused to play. Keep reading, because it gets juicy. Manipulations turn into outright begging, and I stop being their safety net for good. Here I am, Jordan Evans, 29, grinding in finance, working late, making decent money, and somehow I became their personal lifeboat without signing up for it. It started small, almost innocent. Mom calls. "Oh, Jordan, we're a bit short on the electric bill this month." Her voice all pitiful. I sent the money. No big deal, right? Then groceries. "We forgot to stock up. Could you grab something?" So I showed up with bags, knowing they wouldn't bother. Then the mortgage. "It's temporary," Dad said. "We'll sort it soon." But temporary stretched into every month. It was a slow, sneaky invasion until I was covering almost everything. Utilities, food, their damn mortgage. Everything but their car. Meanwhile, Tyler's on the couch with a game controller, racking up virtual points like he's doing us all a favor. Mom's sighs grew heavier. "It's been so tight lately," she'd say, eyes misty. Dad chimed in. "Tyler's still job hunting. It's rough out there." As if I hadn't been hustling since I was a teenager. I nodded, sent the money, kept my mouth shut, because family helps family. That's what they drilled into me. And I bought it. Tyler, 33, no job, no rent, just chilling like a guest in his own house, while I'm the idiot footing the bill. My savings dwindled. Weekends vanished in their errands, and they still acted like I should be grateful for the privilege. I gritted my teeth, endured, told myself it was temporary, that they'd get their act together. But months turned into years, and nothing changed except me. I got angrier, quieter, a slow fire building inside. I watched my savings shrink, my weekends disappear, and they still acted like I owed them. They never said no outright. They were smarter than that. Little hints, passive-aggressive jabs. We're just a bit short again, until I was their crutch, their ATM, their fix for every dumb choice. Tyler never chipped in, just soaked it all up, and I let it go on because the alternative, letting them sink, felt impossible. I thought I was strong, responsible, the good son, but I was just naive, letting them tighten that leash until I couldn't breathe. That's how it went until 6 months ago, when it all came crashing down, and I finally snapped. Keep reading, because this is where I stop being the good guy and start fighting back. After years of their game, it hit a breaking point 6 months ago. It was a Sunday. I just survived a hellish week at work, my eyes burning from spreadsheets, my account still stinging from the latest family help. I went to my parents' place, as usual, arms full of grocery bags because I knew they wouldn't have bothered. I expected the usual quiet chaos, but instead, I walked into an ambush. Mom, Linda, sat in the living room, arms crossed, lips pressed into a thin, angry line. She saved that look for when she was about to unload. Tyler was sprawled on the couch, scrolling his phone, acting like he didn't care. Dad, Mark, was in the kitchen, shaking his head like I'd already let him down. I barely set the bags down, didn't even say hi, when Mom started. "We need to talk, Jordan." Her voice was sharp as glass. I knew this wasn't going to be good. Dad stepped forward, hands in his pockets, all casual. "We've been talking. and we think it's time you stepped up more. You're doing well, and it's not fair that we're struggling while you're off living your life, spending your money however you want." I blinked, my brain scrambling to process. "I'm already stepping up," I said, trying to keep my voice steady, but Mom scoffed. "A few bills here and there? That's nothing compared to what we need." Like I was some greedy kid hoarding allowance. I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, but tried to stay calm. "I've been covering the mortgage for 2 years. That's not nothing." But then Tyler rolled his eyes. "Come on, bro. You know how much they've done for us. It's just money." And I lost it. I turned to him. "Us? I don't see you paying for shit." That set Mom off, her face twisting. "Don't you dare talk about your brother like that. He's trying." I laughed, cold and humorless. "Seriously? Because from where I'm standing, all he's trying to do is set a record for wasted hours." Dad cut in, voice sharp. "Jordan, we're asking you to take on more. This house is too much for us alone. If you were a good son, you'd step up." Something in me snapped, shattered after years of giving them everything, time, money, patience, and it still wasn't enough. I took a slow breath, exhaled. "Let me get this straight. You want me to fully take over the mortgage, pay for everything, while Tyler does nothing, and you don't see anything wrong with that?" Mom's lips tightened. "We just thought as our son you'd want to help the family." I snapped back. "And what's Tyler, a houseplant?" Tyler jumped up, glaring. "I hate you, man. I didn't ask for this." I grabbed my bag. "No, but you sure as hell took advantage of it." Mom stood, fury radiating. "If you walk out now, don't come back." I gave her a long, heavy look, then smiled. "Fine." That was it. I walked out. No yelling, no speeches, just done. The air hit my face, cool and sharp, and my shoulders straightened, like I'd been carrying their mess my whole life, and finally dropped it. That was the line, and I wasn't going back, no matter how hard they tried to pull me in. That day, I moved into my apartment. Small, quiet, mine. For 6 months, I was free. Finally free. Breathing air that didn't reek of manipulation or guilt. I ignored their calls, their texts, let them pile up like junk mail. It was glorious, like shedding skin that had been choking me. No more grocery runs, no late-night bank transfers. Just me, Jordan Evans, 29, living for myself. I swear sometimes I could have danced on that couch. The silence was so sweet. They called, Mom's number, Dad's, even Tyler a few times, but I watched the calls fade out, smirking, because they didn't own me anymore. Not one bit. But today, today, changed things. Dad texted, "Why didn't you pay the mortgage this month?" I stared at that brazen demand, like I was still their errand boy. I exhaled slowly, a dark, satisfied feeling coiling in my chest. There it was, proof they never planned to stand on their own. I typed, "Oh, I thought I wasn't welcome anymore." Sent it and leaned back, grinning because that's when my phone exploded. Messages, calls, notifications flooded in like a dam had burst. Mom, Dad, Tyler, all at once. A desperate chorus of panic. I didn't touch the phone, just watched it buzz on the table, vibrating like a trapped animal. And I laughed, quiet and sharp, because 6 months of silence. And this? I'd paid their bills for years, and the second I stopped, chaos. Beautiful, messy chaos. I sat, arms crossed, savoring it. Freedom, power. For the first time, I wasn't scrambling to clean up their mess, wasn't falling for their old tricks. Mom probably sent something angry. Dad something reasonable. Tyler something useless. But I didn't care. I wasn't their safety net anymore. Wasn't letting them drain me while I slaved away. The phone kept going, and I felt lighter with every missed call, like I was cutting the last thread tying me to their sinking ship. This wasn't the end, far from it. But in that moment, it felt like victory. Bitter, but so damn sweet. Curiosity got the better of me, so I grabbed the phone after it calmed down, scrolled through the mess. Mom's first message. "What's wrong with you? How could you do this to us? The bank called, we're behind." Then Dad's. "Jordan, this is serious. We could lose the house. Call me now." And Tyler's gem. "Dude, you know they don't have money. You really gonna let them lose everything to prove a point?" There it was, the guilt trip, right on schedule, like they'd rehearsed it. I could have fired back, but I didn't. Not yet. Let their panic simmer. Maybe they'd finally see I wasn't their savior. 20 minutes later, Dad called, then Mom, both straight to voicemail. Tyler texted again. "Answer the phone. This isn't funny." But it was funny. Exactly what I thought, because I'd poured money into that house for years, no complaints. The second I stopped, it crumbled. So what the hell were they doing with that money? I decided to dig, not argue. I called the bank, put on my concerned son voice. "Hi, I used to handle my parents' mortgage payments. I stopped recently, just checking the status." After a few questions and endless hold music, the operator came back. "Sir, the account's been delinquent for almost 8 months." 8 months? I ran a hand through my hair, holding back a stunned whistle. 8 months, while I was still sending money. "So even when I was paying, the money wasn't going through?" I asked. She hesitated. "It appears so." I hung up, grinning because, they were screwed, and I'd caught them red-handed. All that money I sent, thousands, and they pocketed it, let the mortgage slide, betting I'd bail them out forever. Brilliant plan, huh? I called Tyler first, since he was there. He had to know something. The phone barely rang before he picked up. "Jordan, finally, you gotta fix this." I cut him off. "Hey, quick question. Where'd all the money I sent go? Bank says no full payments for 8 months. Silence, long and heavy. Then he mumbled, "I don't know what you're talking about." I snorted. "Come on, you live there. Didn't notice Mom and Dad suddenly getting rich while I bled dry?" He stalled again, then muttered, "You don't get it. They're our parents. They needed help." I laughed, sharp. "Oh, I get it. I got it every month for years. You all lied, pocketed my money, and now you're panicking because the well's dry." He growled, "You're heartless." I shot back, "No, I'm letting you face the consequences of your own stupidity. Big difference." Before he could reply, Mom's call came through, and I saw it from a mile away. "How dare you, Jordan?" she said the second I answered. "You know we need help. The bank's threatening us." I stayed calm. "Oh, you mean the help where I paid, and you didn't bother covering the mortgage for 8 months?" She gasped. "Don't you talk about that. Tyler's struggling. You have no idea." I laughed again. "Struggling? He's been struggling for a decade, Mom. Know who else struggled? Me, keeping a roof over your heads while you lied to my face." Dad grabbed the phone, voice lower, controlled. "Jordan, we just need help this month. We're behind. There'll be a foreclosure if you don't step in." I felt a sharp stab of guilt, anger. "Then sell the house," I said. Mom exploded in the background. "We can't sell. It's our family home." I shrugged, though they couldn't see. "Sounds like your problem." Dad inhaled. "Be reasonable. We just need a little support." I repeated, cold. "Figure it out, like you figured out how to screw me over for almost a year." He snapped. "Enough. You're our son. You're supposed to help." I smiled, slow and bitter. "Looks like you'll have to manage without me." And I hung up. The phone buzzed again instantly. Messages, calls, all furious, all desperate. But I didn't care. They'd played me, and now they were caught, and I was just getting started. The phone kept going after I hung up on Dad. Mom's texts poured in. "We need to talk right now." Then Dad's, "I can't believe you're doing this after all we've done for you." I snorted, shaking my head because all they'd done was just a shiny wrapper for how they crushed me until I broke. I replied, typing slowly, savoring it. "Funny, I was thinking the same thing. You keep asking what kind of son I am, but I'm the only one who saw the truth. I didn't stop paying the mortgage. You ignored it for months. Maybe it's time you clean up your own mess." I sent it, my thumb hovering a second, relishing the moment. This wasn't about the house anymore. It was about taking back what they stole, years of my life, my peace. And I wasn't letting them guilt me back into it. Dad called almost immediately. I answered on the third ring, voice steady. "Jordan, this isn't you. We raised you better," he said, like that line still worked. I didn't hold back. "Seriously? Because all I remember is you being there when it suited you. I bailed you out every month while you barely noticed when I needed support, too busy with your mess or Tyler's latest screw-up. And now I'm the ungrateful one?" He faltered, and I heard his voice crack when he finally said, "We messed up, Jordan. We screwed up. But please, we need your help. We can't do this without you." I tapped the armrest, letting it sink in, then exhaled. "No, Dad. It's time you stood on your own. You've lived off me too long. It's not my job to fix your mistakes." He pleaded, "Please, we'll pay you back, I swear." Like I hadn't heard that 100 times. I laughed, short and bitter. "Funny, I've been waiting for that payback for years. Where is it, Dad? Where's the thanks for everything I did?" He went quiet, then mumbled, "Jordan, I'm sorry. You were more than generous, I took you for granted, but don't let us lose the house. I'm begging, it's everything to us." That same old plea, the same trap, hit me, but this time it didn't work. "No," I said, firm and final. "You'll figure it out without me." I hung up before he could try again. The silence was thick, heavy, but so damn good. I'd finally cut that cord, and it wasn't a win over them. It was freedom, pure and sharp, like crawling out of quicksand. Then Mom texted, "You don't understand. You'll regret this. You'll see what this leads to. We need you. Don't ruin everything." I nearly snorted. She still thought I was a tool, not a person who'd had enough. I replied, "You had your chance. I'm done bailing you out. Deal with the mess you made. I'm not your scapegoat anymore." Tyler called next, and I let it go to voicemail, playing it on speaker. His voice was low, dramatic. "Bro, you really screwed up. Mom's crying. Dad's freaking out. You gotta fix this." I rolled my eyes. "Fix it? Like I set their house on fire and didn't just step back?" He went on, "You're selfish thinking you're proving something. You're destroying us." I deleted it halfway through, done with his empty bravado. What could he do? Run to Mom? Mom called again, and against my better judgment I answered. Her voice was shrill. "I hope you're happy, Jordan. The bank called. We've got days before they take the house. How could you?" I stifled a yawn. "You mean the house I'm not allowed back in? That one?" She snapped, "Don't you sass me, young man." I grinned. "Oh, I'm sassing, Mom. Let's break this down. You told me to leave and not come back, so I left. Now you're mad I listened." She growled, "That's not the point. This house, it's everything." I cut in. And yet it's falling apart the second I stop paying. Wild, right? She went quiet, then venomous. We did everything for you, and you walk away when we need you most. I exhaled slowly. No, I walked away when I realized you only needed me while I was paying your bills. And I hung up. Done. Truly done. Their messages kept coming, angry, pleading, but I was free, and they couldn't touch me. I turned off the phone, stretched out on the couch, flipped through TV channels, and let the silence wash over me. It was that rare, perfect silence, where I wasn't drowning in their endless demands. It was glorious, truly glorious, like I'd finally pried their hands off my throat and could breathe, think, live for myself. Jordan Evans, not their puppet. The weight was gone, dissolved, but something nagged at me. This wasn't over, not by a long shot, because they'd keep clawing, begging, and I'd have to hold that line. But for then, I didn't care. I'd done it, cut the rope, forced them to face the mess they made, and it was a victory, bitter and sweet at once. So here I am, laying it all out, wondering what you think. I need to know, did I go too far, pushing them to sink or swim when I could have tried something else? Maybe negotiated, found a compromise? Or did I finally do the right thing, cutting them off, making them deal with the consequences of their lies and laziness, Tyler included? I supported them for years, losing money and sanity. Now I'm free. But part of me wonders, will I regret it if they lose that house? Will guilt creep in? I don't think so. Not yet, but I want your take. Tell me straight. Was I too harsh? Or was this the only way to break free? Let me know, because this is my story. But your thoughts might help me see it clearer.